Good morning. Today is November 23rd, and we're reading Lamentations 3:22 through 27. And we're going to stick with the contemporary English version, which we've managed to do all month. So, starting in verse 22, the Lord's kindness never fails. If he had not been merciful, we would have been destroyed. The Lord can always be trusted to show mercy each morning. Deep in my heart I say, the Lord is all I need. I can depend on him. The Lord is kind to everyone who trusts and obeys him. It is good to wait patiently for the Lord to save us. When we are young, it is good to struggle hard. I'm going to go ahead to number 28. 28 says, and to sit silently alone, if that is what the Lord intends. All right, we're going to go ahead and pray. I don't like to stop in the middle of a sentence. I was like, why did they stop us at 27? Okay, here we go. Lord Jesus, we ask that you just come into our hearts and our lives, and that you bring about the changes that you want to see. That you help us to realize when things are of you, and that we learn to cease our complaining. That you open up our lives before you, that we shine as lights in this dark world, and we be true ambassadors for you, that we show the world who you are through our words and our actions. In your precious name I ask this. Amen. So, we see here the theme, of course, which is being thankful and realizing that God's love never fails. He never betrays us. He never leaves us. That he's faithful to those who trust in him. And we must wait patiently, and patience is not a strong suit for me. I don't think that's right. Strong trait. I guess it works. When God tells us that there's something we need to do or we need to wait for, we need to be respectful to that and actually listen and do our best. If you think about Abraham and Sarah, God promised them a son and descendants that were as numerous as the sands on the seashore and the stars in the sky. And they decided that it wasn't happening in their timing, and because they could see their physical limitations, they decided that essentially God didn't know what he was talking about. Sarah laughed, actually, when she was told that she would have a child, because she was barren. And she was getting older. And so she pretty much assumed that it was not true. And we can do that when God tells us something. If it seems impossible, because God is the God of the impossible, we can either just totally deny it and doubt it and try to go our own way to do whatever, or we can deny it and doubt it and try to make it happen our way. Or we could just be patient. So, as you know, Abraham and Sarah decided they weren't going to be patient, and they agreed that Abraham would sleep with Hagar, the handmaid of Sarah. And from that came Ishmael, and from them came the people that have been persecuting the Jews for centuries. So we have to realize that we could try to do things our way, or we can trust that God's timing is perfect and wait on him. Now, like I said, patience isn't one of my strong suits, and God has given me a call in my life that I don't even have remotely even the beginnings of seeing it come to fulfillment. He gave it to me, he spoke it to me, and confirmed it and spoken about it for years when I was in high school. And I am now 35, almost 36, and I have never even come close to seeing it realized, but I still believe it's true. And I refuse to try to bring about God's promise my own way. And God once gave me a vision where I was looking at a seed in my hand about the size of a mustard seed, and I said, that's all the faith I have, because it said if you have faith like a mustard seed. And Jesus spoke to me and said, that's not your faith, that's your patience. And the scene widened, and I was standing with my back against this ginormous tree, and he says, there's your faith. I think that's the same with Abraham, because he is touted as a man of faith in the New Testament. And I think his faith was huge, but his patience was small. And I think that's a very vital thing to look at in your life. There's an area that's smaller that's going to cause you to make a rush decision, or maybe cause you to walk away because you're thinking that you don't believe, or the timing isn't happening the way you would like. Tomorrow's November 24th. We are nearly there. Yay! Thanksgiving's coming. We're going to be reading James 1, verses 17 and 18. That's going to be a short one. We'll see you then.